Recent allegations have sparked debate about the pioneering DA, John Steenhuisen, and his response to the tragic deaths of 2 women on a ranch. According to reports, 2 white ranchers are said to have slaughtered the women and then turned their remains into pigs. Please kindly subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell so as to get all our updates. Public has been shocked by this astounding case, particularly since Steenhuisen did not visit the murder scene or the groups of individuals involved. The situation has grown into a larger discussion about race and the seeming apathy of political trailblazers in response to violence against individuals of color. Pundits have held the DA accountable for showing a lack of concern for people of color, especially when their political narrative doesn't align with the case. The belief that Steenhuisen was spotted traveling to Ukraine on a reality tracking assignment, despite his failure to confront the homestead killings, strengthened this notion. The seriousness of the alleged misconduct has caused disruptive concerns for South Africans. The unfortunate event is made much more distressing by the possibility that pigs may have eaten human tissue. While tending to cruel wrongdoings, especially those involving minimized networks, it draws attention to the need for a more thorough assessment on cultural traits and needs. Regarding their stance on such heinous protests, many are demanding that Steenhuisen and the DA take concrete steps and be transparent. Cases of ingrained prejudice inside the party have increased in the absence of a public response or a visit to the affected families. Critics argue that concentrating on global concerns over local tragedies reflects a disturbing disregard for the lives of Black South Africans. Local residents and political analysts alike are urging the DA to maintain its position and demonstrate a commitment to addressing brutality across all of its institutions as the conversation continues to unfold. The lack of action on this matter undermines the credibility of the DA and perpetuates a narrative of apathy toward the continued existence of dark people in South Africa. Once again, a social critic has openly shown how much she despises former President Jacob Zuma and calls him deceitful. This scathing criticism is in reaction to recent remarks made by Zuma, in which he questioned why, if African countries are genuinely free, they cannot make their own laws. The critic cited Zuma's tenure in government, specifically highlighting his inability to change the constitution to allow for land expropriation without compensation, a contentious issue in South Africa. She said that Zuma's presidency provided the ideal chance to advance this reform, particularly with the Economic Freedom Fighters Party potentially on board. He turned down the chance to use the EFF's 6% in Parliament to change the constitution to allow for land expropriation, the critic said. Zuma is so deceitful, and that's why I'll never like him. Land expropriation without compensation has long been supported by the EFF, headed by Juliusmalema, as a way to remedy historical disparities in land ownership in South Africa. It is thought by some that a coalition might have been formed to force through important constitutional amendments while Zuma was in office, since the party had a portion of parliamentary seats. However, under his direction, no such action took place. His recent comments about African autonomy and self-governance have elicited a range of responses. Some sympathize with his position, while others, such as the critic, see it as disingenuous. The critic's remarks are indicative of a wider belief held by several South Africans, who saw his administration as a squandered chance for significant progress, especially in the area of land reform. On Wednesday afternoon, a high-level meeting of the African National Congress, ANC, is anticipated to discuss the vote of no confidence against Tshwane Mayor Cilliers Brink. On Thursday, Brink will be the target of a vote in council against a motion of no confidence. The Democratic Alliance, DA, has been attempting to prevent the motion from defeating Brink. The Citizen was informed by Gauteng DA chairperson Fred Nel that he was expecting an answer from the ANC meeting about a proposal that the DA had presented to the ANC. The plan would guarantee Gauteng municipality stability during the next local elections. Additionally, it will see a degree of cooperation between the DA and the ANC in guaranteeing that no pointless motions of confidence be filed until after the next elections. They seem to still be working through their internal issues. We are aware that the Gauteng leadership of the ANC and the Secretary General are meeting this afternoon. After that, we anticipate hearing from you, he said. Nel said that even though Action SA is a member of the Tshwane Mayoral Committee, the DA will not depend on them.